Under the vast African sky, where the golden light of dawn stretches across endless grasslands, a new story was about to begin. In a quiet corner of the savannah, a lion cub named Leo opened his eyes for the very first time, blinking at the world's bright colors and unfamiliar sounds. His mother, a wise and watchful lioness, kept him hidden deep within a rocky den, sheltering him and his siblings from the dangers that lurked outside. For weeks, Leo's entire world was the gentle warmth of his mother's fur, the steady rhythm of her heartbeat, and the soft, muffled sounds of the den. The outside world was a mystery, but inside, he felt safe and loved. As Leo grew stronger, his mother finally led him and his sisters out into the sunlight to meet the pride, a bustling family of aunts, cousins, and other playful cubs, all living together on the open plains. At first, Leo clung tightly to his mother's side, overwhelmed by the new sights and sounds. But soon, curiosity overcame his shyness, and he joined in the playful games with the other cubs, tumbling and chasing through the grass. The pride's communal nursery was a place of safety and learning. While some mothers went off to hunt, others stayed behind to watch over the young, creating a close-knit community where every cub was cared for. Playtime was more than just fun for Leo and his siblings. Through mock fights and pouncing games, they practiced the skills they would one day need to hunt and survive on the savannah. Leo learned to recognize the unique calls of his family, the deep roars that echoed across the plains, and the subtle signals that kept the pride together. He also learned to heed the warning growls of his mother, a sound that meant danger was near and he must stay close. The savannah was a land of wonders and challenges. Majestic elephants and towering giraffes roamed nearby, while the ever-present threat of hyenas reminded Leo that not all creatures were friends. Every day brought new lessons in caution and courage. Leo watched and learned, taking in the sights, sounds, and smells of his vast home, always under the watchful eye of his mother. Through it all, Leo's greatest teacher was his mother. With gentle nudges and patient guidance, she showed him how to survive and thrive, leading him through the beauty and danger of his new world, and helping him take his first steps toward becoming a lion of the plains. As Leo grew, the vast savannah became his classroom, stretching endlessly beneath the golden sun. Every day brought new lessons, and every blade of grass whispered secrets of survival. The open plains were both playground and proving ground, where curiosity and caution walked side by side. His mother and the lionesses guided him patiently, teaching him to move with silent grace, blending into the tall grass. They showed him how to use the wind to mask his scent, and how to step lightly so as not to alert prey or predator. These were skills passed down through generations, vital for every lion's survival. Every sound and scent was a clue. He learned to read the grass, to sense the faintest rustle or distant call. The savannah was alive with hidden messages, and Leo's senses sharpened as he listened for danger and opportunity alike. The wind carried stories, and he learned to interpret them with growing skill. Wrestling with his sisters built his strength and balance, their playful battles preparing him for the challenges ahead. Each tumble and leap was a lesson in agility, teaching him how to land softly and react quickly. Chasing butterflies and pouncing on insects honed his reflexes, turning play into practice for the real hunts to come. Even the smallest creatures became teachers, sharpening his focus and timing. Sometimes the lionesses brought injured prey for the cubs, offering them a chance to practice the final act of the hunt. These moments were serious, as Leo learned the importance of respect for life and the skills needed to provide for the pride. Danger was never far. A crocodile's sudden attack at the waterhole reminded Leo that the savannah was full of hidden threats. He learned to approach water with caution, always watching for movement beneath the surface. Overhead, eagles circled, their sharp eyes searching for vulnerable cubs. Their presence was a constant reminder for Leo to stay alert and close to the pride, for even the sky held dangers. He learned to respect the dominant male, whose thunderous roars echoed across the plains, marking the pride's territory and warning rivals to stay away. The power and authority of the pride leader was unmistakable. The pride's hierarchy became clear. Every member had a role in their survival. From the nurturing mothers to the vigilant sentinels, Leo saw how cooperation and respect kept the group strong and united. Through play, careful observation, and a few close calls, Leo absorbed the skills and rules of lion life. Each day brought new challenges, and each lesson made him wiser and more capable. The lessons of the tall grass would shape him into a future hunter and leader, preparing him for the day when he would step out of the shadows and claim his place beneath the endless African sky. As an adolescent, Leo was ready for his first real test. The days of playful wrestling with his siblings were behind him, replaced by a new sense of purpose. The savannah stretched endlessly before him, filled with both promise and peril, and Leo could feel the weight of expectation pressing on his young shoulders. He watched the lionesses hunt, learning the art of patience and teamwork. Their movements were almost silent, each step calculated, every muscle tensed in anticipation. Leo studied their every move, understanding that survival depended on more than just strength. It required strategy and unity. The pride moved in silence, surrounding a herd of zebra with practiced precision. Each lion knew their role, and Leo marveled at the unspoken communication that passed between them. The air was thick with tension as the zebras sensed danger, their ears flicking nervously. Leo's heart raced as he observed the chase and the chaos of the stampede. Dust rose in swirling clouds, hooves thundered across the earth, and the energy of the hunt was electric. For a moment, Leo felt both fear and excitement, knowing soon he would join the fray. When his turn came, he targeted a young warthog, creeping low and recalling every lesson. Each step was deliberate, his body pressed close to the ground, eyes locked on his quarry. The world seemed to narrow to just him and the warthog, every sound amplified in his ears. His first pounce missed, but he quickly recovered, determination driving him forward. Failure stung, but Leo refused to give in to frustration. He remembered the patience of the lionesses and steadied his breath, ready to try again. On his second attempt, he succeeded, his first kill, clumsy but triumphant. The struggle was brief, and as the dust settled, Leo stood over his prize, heart pounding with pride and relief. He had proven himself, if only just. This rite of passage marked his growth from playful cub to capable predator. The taste of victory was new, and the blood on his muzzle was a symbol of change. Leo felt himself standing taller, his confidence growing with each heartbeat. The pride welcomed his success, and Leo felt the weight of new responsibility. Nuzzles and gentle roars greeted him, a sign of acceptance and respect. He was no longer just an observer. He was now a contributor to the pride's survival. Each hunt would sharpen his skills and confidence. Every attempt, whether successful or not, was a lesson learned. Leo knew that mastery would come only with time and perseverance. The savannah demanded strength, and Leo was learning to answer its call. The vast grasslands were both a challenge and a teacher, shaping him into the lion he was destined to become. He was no longer just a student, he was becoming a hunter. Each day brought new challenges, and Leo faced them with growing courage and determination. The journey to adulthood had truly begun. With every sunrise, Leo took another step forward, embracing his role in the circle of life, ready for whatever the wild might bring. As Leo neared 2 years old, his mane began to grow and his place in the pride shifted. The dominant male, once a distant protector, now saw Leo and his brothers as rivals. Tension grew, snarls replaced tolerance, and the young males were pushed away from kills. Nature demanded they leave to prevent inbreeding and ensure strong bloodlines. Playful wrestling with his brothers turned serious, preparing them for the challenges ahead. One evening, the pride male drove Leo and his brother out for good. Shocked and saddened, Leo realized he could never return. Now outcasts, the brothers faced the wild alone, without the pride's protection. They had to hunt, defend themselves, and survive on their own. Their bond became their greatest strength. The easy days of youth were over. The savannah was now a test of endurance and cunning. Their journey into the unknown had begun. Life as nomads was harsh for Leo and his brother Kovu. Constantly on the move, they faced hunger, rival lions, and bold hyenas. Hunting alone was difficult. They often scavenged or targeted smaller prey. Nights brought danger. Once, a hyena clan attacked, but the brothers fought them off, wounded but united. Through hardship, their partnership grew stronger, developing new hunting strategies and signals. They learned to avoid established territories, reading scent marks and heeding warning roars. As a coalition, they increased their chances of survival and future success. They became ghosts on the plains, always moving along the edges of other pride's domains. This wandering phase tested and tempered them, teaching patience and resilience. Every challenge forged their bond and sharpened their instincts. They were preparing for the day they could claim a kingdom of their own. After months of wandering, Leo and Kovu became powerful adults, ready to claim a territory. They found a land ruled by two aging males, an opportunity for a new beginning. Observing from a distance, they saw the old kings were weary and vulnerable. One evening, Leo and Kovu boldly challenged them, their roars echoing across the plains. The confrontation was fierce and brutal, watched by the pride from afar. Leo faced the dominant male, Kovu the other. Youth and strength clashed with experience. In the end, the brothers prevailed, driving the old rulers into exile. Exhausted but victorious, Leo and Kovu stood as the new kings. The territory was theirs at last. Their long exile was over. They had earned their place through courage and determination. A new era for the pride had begun. As new rulers, Leo and Kovu marked their territory and announced their reign with powerful roars. The pride's lionesses watched warily, uncertain of the newcomers. Leo and Kovu had to prove themselves as protectors, earning the trust of the pride. They defended against hyenas and rival males, showing strength and vigilance. Over time, the lionesses accepted them as leaders. The pride's social order reformed, with Leo emerging as the dominant king. Life changed, no longer wanderers. The brothers now defended a kingdom. The lionesses hunted, while Leo and Kovu patrolled and protected. Leo had achieved his dream, a home, a family, and a legacy to build. His rise from outcast to king was complete. With the pride secure, Leo entered a new chapter, fatherhood. The lionesses gave birth to cubs sired by Leo and Kovu. Leo, once a vulnerable cub, now watched over his own offspring with surprising gentleness. He protected them from threats, patrolling his territory and keeping rivals at bay. The pride thrived under the brothers' leadership, with plenty of food and safety. Leo saw his own youth reflected in the playful cubs. His main purpose was clear: to raise the next generation and ensure their survival. He knew his reign would not last forever. One day, new challengers would come. But for now, he was king, defending his family and territory with all his strength. Leo's legacy was secure, at least for a time. Years passed, and Leo's cubs grew into strong adolescents. His mane grayed, and his body bore the scars of many battles. New coalitions of young males appeared on the horizon, ready to challenge the old kings. Even his own sons felt the restless urge to strike out on their own. Leo knew he would soon have to drive them away, just as he had been driven. This cycle ensured the pride's strength and the savannah's balance. Leo's story was the story of the wild: birth, struggle, power, and renewal. He had survived, ruled, and passed on his legacy. As he watched a new generation prepare for their journey, Leo stood as a testament to the enduring spirit of the lion. The circle of life continued, with new kings rising as old ones faded, echoing across the African plains.